In today's session, we shall continue the chapter Union Legislature. Today we shall learn about the Rajya Sabha, its composition and its membership. Before we begin, a short recap of what we already know. The legislature of the Union, which is called the Parliament, consists of the President and the two houses, known as the Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha, and the House of the People, that is Lok Sabha. Each house has to meet within 6 months of its previous sitting. A joint sitting of two houses can be held in certain cases. The Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the Parliament and is sometimes called the House of Elders. Let us take a look at its composition. The Council of States shall be composed of not more than 250 members, of whom 12 shall be nominated by the President, and the remainder, that is 238 members, shall be representatives of the states and the Union territories, elected by the method of indirect election, according to Article 80 of the Indian Constitution. We can further understand better the composition of the Rajya Sabha by understanding these three areas. The first one is the nomination by the President. The 12 nominated members shall be chosen by the President from amongst people having special knowledge or practical experience in literature, science, art, and social service. The Constitution thus adopts the principle of nomination for giving distinguished persons a place in the upper chamber. At present, the total membership of the Rajya Sabha is 245 members. The next area is the representation of states. The representatives of each state shall be elected by the elected members of the Legislative Assembly of the state, in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. Third, the representation of Union territories. Parliament has prescribed that the representatives of Union territories to the Council of States shall be indirectly elected by members of an electoral college for that territory, in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. The Council of States thus reflect a federal character by representing the units of the federation. But it does not follow the American principle of equality of state representation. In India, the number of representatives of the states to the Council of States varies from 1, for example from Nagaland, to 31 from Uttar Pradesh. Indirect election. Whereas the Lok Sabha is directly elected on the basis of the adult suffrage for 5 years, the Rajya Sabha is indirectly elected in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. For the purpose of this election, each state is allotted a number of seats, mainly on the basis of their population. Bigger states get greater representation and the smaller ones have lesser representation. For example, Maharashtra sends 19 elected members, whereas Goa sends just 1 elected member to the Rajya Sabha. Let us now examine the qualifications required for membership to the Rajya Sabha. According to Article 84 of the Indian Constitution, a person should possess the following qualifications to be a member of the Rajya Sabha. First, he must be a citizen of India. He must not be less than 30 years of age. He must possess other qualifications as may be prescribed by the Parliament. Let us now analyze the reasons for disqualification of a member from the Rajya Sabha. Article 102 of the Indian Constitution lays down that a person shall be disqualified as a member of either House of Parliament if He holds any office of profit under the government of India or the government of any state, if he is of unsound mind and stands so declared by a competent court. If he is an undischarged insolvent. Let us understand this term a little more in detail. An undischarged insolvent is a person who has submitted a bankruptcy petition to the court of law and whose debts are still being assessed by the court. Once this is done, the person becomes a discharged bankrupt or a discharged insolvent. If he ceases to be a citizen of India or has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of a foreign state, or if he is disqualified by any law that is made by the Parliament, tenure of the Rajya Sabha member. The Rajya Sabha is a permanent house and is not subject to dissolution. But as nearly as possible, 1/3 of the members of Rajya Sabha retire after every 2 years in accordance with the provisions made by the Parliament by law. Thus, the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a term of 6 years. This arrangement ensures continuity as well as representation of changing public opinion. Let us now take a look at the officials of the Rajya Sabha. The presiding officers of the Rajya Sabha are the chairman and the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha. The Vice President of India is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. In addition, the House also elects a deputy chairman from amongst its members. The deputy chairman presides over when the Vice President is absent. The chairman does not enjoy the right to vote, except in case of a tie. As presiding officer, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha is responsible for maintaining order and decorum in the House and conducts the proceedings in accordance with the rules. The Secretary General is appointed by the chairman and holds rank equivalent to the highest civil servant of the Union. The Secretary General is also the administrative head of the Rajya Sabha Secretariat and the custodian of the records of the House. He works under the direction and control of the chairman. Other members of the Rajya Sabha include the leader of the House, who is a cabinet minister or prime minister if he is a member of the House or another nominated minister. The leader of the opposition, who leads the minority parties and is commonly the leader of the largest minority party. With this, we come to an end to the third session, the Rajya Sabha.